J-Dog, easy play, anytime, stop, nada, much. Slayer, Boxer, C, Bisu, Savior, 16 of the most powerful StarCraft gamers in the world. LG, Intel Centrino, Gong TV, Star Invitational.
He just said Flash just won all of his games in Group A. He's the first person to advance to the quarterfinals. Give it up for Flash. He basically said, you just beat, I mean, obviously all the groups are hard, but you just beat 3 ex-champions. I mean, 3 of the best people out there. Was this difficult for you? He was expecting 2-1, but after he won the first 2, he kind of laid back and took it easy because he knew he was in a good spot. He said his best moment for him in the tournament was when he used the vessels to kill Savior's Guardians by irradiating them using the eraser tactic, if you will. At that point, he thought he'd already lost, actually. But he was able to pull it off, and he's very happy about that. You have a possibility of facing Jaedong, Muchnada, or Boxer. Are you nervous? Is there anybody you want to play? He says he has the highest probability of facing Jaedong.
Facing Jaedong so often recently.
He feels like it's kind of in his destiny because he keeps facing Jaedong over and over and over again historically.
So commentators are saying that they think that Flash has evolved even more. So
it seems like your play's evolved a lot since last year. What have you improved in the most, and what will you be improving on in the future?
Playing in front of TV.
Yeah, he says I got more skilled, and I feel more comfortable playing in front of TVs. Or playing on TV. Do you have any specific goals or plans for the year 2008? He says he wants to win a major tournament very soon, and he wants to be getting yearly awards. Just give it up for Flash. Welcome back. We have a 3-way tie. Turned out to be an amazing event so far. Mind, AnyTime, and Savior First round is going to be AnyTime versus Mind. Remember, Mind did do an excellent job of beating AnyTime in the time they faced before. I'm going to be told the maps here pretty soon. But yeah, it's going to be a very exciting game. Oh, it's going to be BaekmaGoji. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I keep asking different people, and they're all saying different things, so we'll see. All right. Both players are in the game now. Terran versus Protoss. AnyTime, of course, is the Protoss, and Mind is the Terran. This three-way tie has all three races in it. Again, these are, well, they're easily some of the best players in the entire world. This is the GOM TV Star Invitational, if you're just now joining us. And it's very difficult for me to say who's going to get out of this group. It could really go any way, and I'm not even going to attempt to make a prediction. The winner, well, the person who's going to be, actually, hold that thought. What I wanted to say is Flash will now be playing the winner of Group B. So he said in his interview, which I was attempting to translate, I had a Simul who was translating in my ear for me on that, but he said that he just has some feeling that he's probably going to be facing Jaedong in the future because he keeps facing him.
Knock him down, lock him down, shut him down, shut him down, knock him down, knock him down, shut him down, come on, shut him down.
Sorry, I never know when these things are actually about to start, but so sometimes I'm in mid-sentence when it actually happens. All right, AnyTime at the top right, a purple Protoss. There he is. He realizes that while he might have performed poorly early on in the tournament, he still has more than enough. He has a very good chance of coming back and dominating. He has every chance in the world right now. There's Mine. He's the Teal Terran at the south. Bottom left, to be exact. Again, BaekmaGoji. An interesting map. A map where you have 2 gas geysers and twice as many minerals at your main. And that's interesting for many reasons. First of all, you don't actually have to spend a whole lot of money or a whole lot of extra minerals on another command center early on, although we did see both players do that in the Terran vs. Terran last time. But basically, you can just get a lot of SCVs without having to spend too much extra cash on the additional on the additional building, which will be the nexus for the command center. So, I mean, it affects how the players play a lot. So essentially, start out with twice as many minerals. We see a Terran SCV moving out, and it will be scouting. Another one of the Gamers fans. Peeking around that corner. I think Mind is actually checking for proxy gates because he just turned around. Like I said, this is a one-on-one map, so the probability of a player cheesing another player is actually quite high. So he's peeking out there. He wants to see if he can find a pylon, which might be used to make a proxy gateway, because a proxy gateway will be very strong on a map like this. Realizing that his opponent is in fact not proxy gating. Oh, there I am. Yeah, as I said before, seeing as his opponent is not actually proxy gating, he's probably in a lot more of a comfortable position. He just wants to play it safe. He's a smart player. He doesn't want to lose really fast early on. Now we're going to have the Protoss scouting his opponent, seeing that he is indeed doing a very standard build. I am drinking honey water like crazy so I don't lose my voice for this tournament. Zealot moving out. Zealot before cybernetics core. There's a possibility he could be going for a robotics bay with a build like this. I see that happen quite often. Simply because you have so much extra gas if you're getting Zealots earlier on rather than Dragoons. Zealot and SCV cross paths. He moves his Marine back because he knows that he has to get in a position where he'll be safe from the Zealot that's going to be trying to push in. Note the positioning of the buildings. He did not opt to wall in early on. He instead kind of set up a turtling-like defense around his command center. Now, AnyTime might not directly engage the Marines. He might try to go for the SCVs if he can just push them out. Messing up his mining patterns just a little bit. He sneaks that Zealot around. Second gateway going down. This is going to be a very aggressive rush build. Probably Dragoons with range. Marines moving out. Chasing away the Zealot. Both players playing very, very safely. You don't want to lose any units that you don't absolutely have to lose. So good players are normally very good at not engaging each other unless they are very confident they're going to win. Dragoons into Citadel, which obviously means he's going to Dark Templar rush. Interesting build here. Meanwhile, those Marines are busy killing the neutral sunken colonies on the map. Perhaps so he can make a command center there. Robo Bay being built too. It's going to be a DT drop build. Very interesting. Will it work though? It's a tough call. Particularly because there's not an expansion that you're going to take right away on a map like this. So there's going to be less locations that your DTs can sneak into. But AnyTime's a good player. He's clearly confident in what he's doing. The Templar Archives goes up. Mind has snuck out and a scouting SCV. He wants to try to figure out what his opponent's doing. Mind laying a mine there. A mind. He's on the move now. This is a pretty typical rush build for Terran. He will have a difficult time engaging the 4 Zealots and 2 Dragoons, which are waiting for him. Zealots don't do as much damage as Dragoons, but they attack faster, which means they can be very dangerous if you're not microing perfectly against them. Planting a few mines. He's going to have to be very careful in this attack. Dragging that mine in there, but it did not work. AnyTime's in bad shape right now, but the DTs are on the loose. He's going to have to pick off these mines. Doing an excellent job of that. But he does not want to walk into that minefield. He doesn't have to, though, because he has a shuttle. eBay just now finishing, so will the second command center. Again, the main here is very small, though, so it'll be very difficult to get the DTs to do too much damage. So we'll see. He's moving in, though, anyways. AnyTime getting a second DT out. Very carefully picking up mines as they are laying, rather than risk letting his DTs get hurt. He's now chasing out these Marines. Here comes the shuttle now. It's on the move. Oh, man! He almost lost that! I was staring in shock. It looks like he's already set up enough of a defense so that there's really not too much damage those DTs can actually do. Whoa. That DT is good. Scanning that Dark Templar and picking it off. He's down 1 Dark Templar, which is in the offensive area. Moving in there now with another DT. And going to take out this tank. You don't want to lose that tank early on. Managed to do it. He's a very dominant player. However, I don't think any player really has a strong advantage right now. It's pretty back and forth. I thought for a second Mind might really kill AnyTime with that rush, but it turned out to not be the case. He's going to use that shuttle to maintain some type of map control. It's very smart. It forced Terran to spend a lot of scans on trying to catch your GTs when you pick them back up in the shuttle, and it means that you don't have as much map intelligence. A lot of players like to go carriers when they do this, just because there's a less likelihood that the other opposing player will scan and see the carriers in time. Sneaking these two GTs in here. He's going to try to pick off a few SCBs, and he's already picked off 1, 2, 3. And they're going to have to move out. He's got the observers now. Going to pick off the minefield. And he'll now have access out of that exit as well. Note the positioning of the pylons in the front. He's essentially creating a smaller entrance there by doing that, and that makes it more difficult to micro vulture bikes through that area. As we all know, vulture bikes can very easily pick off all your workers if you just let them slip by, and here comes some vultures now. Planting a few mines. But AnyTime is not interested in letting him have any mines at all. He's now attacking that tower. He might be able to get it. No. He got the tower, but lost the DTs, and not very cost-effective method. And here he comes, moving through. With the Dragoons, moving in very carefully. He finally got siege mode, but did he do it in time? Dragoons are closing in very carefully, picking off these tanks. This is a very, very bad moment for the Terran. But I didn't even see those tanks down there. There are more tanks. But I think he might be able to pick them all off, and he has. More Dragoons now on the move, closing in. It's almost like AnyTime just marched into his opponent's base and started kicking his ass. He's making this look pretty easy. He's trying to reinforce those Dragoons. I believe that's going to be used for an Arbiter since he already got the Templar Archives, yes. Now, has he managed to actually hold off that attack? He needs to get a few more tanks out. Well, he's got to get the engineering bay anyways. Pushing Mind into a corner. That Arbiter is going to allow him to maintain map control whenever it comes out. That's a lot of Dragoons. He's going to run the Dragoon in, try to draw the mines out. Now he's going to come in and pick off that tank, but 2 more in the back. Oh no, this is quite a blunder by AnyTime. He has definitely overextended himself. Very bad move, very bad play. He has lost a lot of that advantage that he had previously. Arbiter has not yet started to build. Nexus heads. Alright, now it's making. Armory. He'll be able to get Goliath, upgrade his units. He's going to have to heal that command center. AnyTime doing a good job of not letting his opponent get too far outside of his base. He's very carefully keeping those Dragoons just out of range of the tanks. He doesn't want to let them get too far along. Probes now being transferred. More gateways than a forge. Oh, I don't know if he's going to be able to get the command center or not. No, it's red once again, but he did not pick it off. Arbiters take quite a while to build. But if he can get it enough, I mean, he can really abuse the Terran with stasis and recall. Planting a few mines at that expo. The Protoss AnyTime has made a pylon wall at the far right bridge to cut off bike circulation, vulture bike circulation in that area. I once got criticized for calling vulture bikes bicycles or bikes. People got confused, thought there were bicycles running around on the screen. People didn't understand. I thought everybody called them bikes. that expansion. He's got cannons too, so that'll make vulture bike harassment a bit more difficult and allow him to have more mobility with his arbiters. Of course, covering up his entire army. Uh-oh. He may have overextended that shuttle. Zealot is going to march over here and try to take out that shuttle. But his life was a failure because it's still there. Both players are very withdrawn from each other right now. Both massing up and teching accordingly. I think the Arbiters was a wise decision from AnyTime. It's going to make it very hard for Terran to get across there, especially considering he can stasis his whole army. A map like this, you don't quite have the mobility that you would like to have with Terran. And there's a lot of different routes that counterattacks are very, very possible. Again, very passive game. Aggressive early on, but neither rush tactics work that well. Upgrading weapons at the forge. Nexus again. When will Terran expand again? Now, as we can see, he's planting mines all over the inside of his base. Because now that he realizes his opponent has recall, he's going to put those mines there so that if AnyTime does recall, he'll be recalling onto a minefield. Very smart move by mine. Looks like he's moving in. He wants to have a bit more of a containment position over there. A small attack up here on these pylons, which are in a very remote location on the map. It looks like AnyTime doesn't really have access to that. Because he does not have control over that part of the map, his circulation can move freely. Looks like he's moving his units down there so that he can hold it off. But here comes the vulture bikes. They're attacking this one cannon. He's going to need to pull those probes out fast. He's losing another cannon. Dragoons are on the move. Wow. All right. Well, we'll take out that small fortification at the far right. Vulture bikes are now retreating. He also is upgrading at the science facility. That's going to be EMP, which he'll be using on the Arbiters so that he doesn't have, that he won't be able to stasis in time, or he won't be able to recall, if he can pull it off, of course. It's all a game of micro then. Now Protoss has very, very good position on the map. And it looks like he's decided he's going to try to close in right now, dropping these Templar that have Psystorm and picking off the front tanks. Wow, stasising ones in the back and storming them. That's a bit unnecessary. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that Arbiter other than lose it. I think he wants to get in here and try to take out this command center. Oh, but he did it. He's got a really good storm. He's going to have to pull out. Who came up in that battle? It's not clear. I think AnyTime's behind now. He lost both of his Arbiters, and the Arbiters are quite precious. You cannot afford to lose them. With those two Arbiters out, late game Arbiter spells are kind of not an option anymore. Not unless AnyTime can figure out some way to drag the game out long enough to where he can get enough Arbiters to where it'll matter again. Uh-oh. Sucks to be a Dragoon. Terran is closing in on that expansion, but targeting attacking units rather than probes. Did not quite get as many probes as he could have. He probably could have taken them all out with that force that he targeted them. Terran has also expanded to the top left. 2 armories. Hopefully AnyTime is upgrading fast enough, because if you don't upgrade your units as Protoss and you try to fight a Terran, your units will melt like butter. Assuming the room's really hot and stuff, I mean, you know. AnyTime is doing everything in his power. Well, what are these Dragoons doing? AnyTime is doing everything in his power to maintain map control. But Mind is growing at a very fast rate, and it's going to be a matter of minutes before he unsieges his tanks and begins a very deadly push across the map that may run AnyTime over. AnyTime knows that, of course. So he's doing everything possible to try to delay this. And Arbiter's out again. I don't know how much energy it has. Here we see the vessels on the move. They want to try to EMP that. Nope, they don't. I lied. They're moving around. Okay, here comes the big push. Watch the center of the mini-map. Center bottom. Actually, it's a bunch of vulture bikes laying mines. Quite a lot of vulture bikes laying mines. And unfortunately, AnyTime is trying so hard to maintain map control that he's spreading out his Dragoons a bit too much. And because of that, isolated Dragoons can very easily die to vulture bikes. EMP used on the Arbiter. 1 vessel goes down. Terran do not want to lose vessels either, just like Protoss don't want to lose his Arbiters. Nexus at the bottom right. AnyTime has quite a sizable army. I'm surprised mine hasn't bothered to push out yet. He knows better than me, though. An observer goes down. Less intelligence for the Protoss. Another science facility being produced. I assume he lost the other one. Perhaps floating it, using it to scout. Storming the mine. AnyTime is very interested in that expansion. And he may be able to attack it because mine is actually pushing up to the top left valley. Here comes an EMP on those Dragoons. I'm not sure how much Terran has on there. And defensive matrix, crazy science vessel, being very helpful right now. AnyTime immediately going to move a large part of his army up into the front of that valley. Meanwhile, he's going to break down that neutral building so he can come in for this round. State the scene. The science vessel will force Terran to scan if he has an Arbiter there. Comes the rest of the Protoss army. He's going to need to get these vulture bikes and Goliaths in the way of that army so the sea snakes can deal the damage that they need to deal. They've also taken out an Arbiter. Templar casting storms. It looks like he will manage to run over this army of mines. Vulture bikes attempt to reinforce, but they do not get there in time. Wow, unbelievable. He's just managing to push across. Here comes another Arbiter. Hope he scans in time. It does not. There's the scan, but it's far too late. AnyTime definitely has some map control here. He's cornering a few tanks here. He's going to get more tanks than I would have expected. And backs out before he can lose the Arbiter. Oh, ouch. Moving up at the top left will take out that expansion. Mine does not have a lot of options. There's not a very easy place to expand to after you take all the expansions right outside your base. More Arbiters being produced at the Protoss base. As you can see, he has a very large amount of gateways. Mind has to act quickly. His push at the top left to secure that expansion failed miserably. Oh man, Spider-Mind's doing a lot of damage. Stasis on the Vulture Bikes. I don't know if that was the best clump to Stasis, but he does look like he is going to manage to walk over this small Terran fortification. And because of that, it seems like it's going to be very, very difficult for Mind to stay in the game. More Protoss forces on the minimap, moving across, trying to reinforce this. Looks like Mind's micro is better than I guessed. He did manage to pull that off. Here come those more Vultures. Now, notice the Terran Command Center's gone, so it's going to be a while before Mind can really start to utilize this location on the map, but he's actually got another one floating there right now. Looks like he lifted off the one that mines from the 3 mineral patches that are inside of his main. AnyTime knows he has to act quickly or this game's going to be a hell of a lot longer. He's going to try to move in now. Here he comes with his force edge. An Arbiter at the top. Stasis in the tank. Not the best Stasis. He could have gotten both had he done it a little bit better. This is a bit of a sloppy job by AnyTime. Mind microing his heart out. But is it enough? Will Mind be able to reinforce? I don't see too many things moving up on the minimap. Only one tank there to deal the damage. Here comes some more of Mind's troops, but it's not clear if it's really going to be enough. He is going to be closing on this expansion. Mind cannot afford to lose this expansion. This whole game hinges on whether or not Mind can save this expansion. Another expansion at the bottom for AnyTime. Man. And I don't think Mind can do this. I think Mind may be out of the game at this point in time. SCV's stuttering as they moved away from the command center. And he will lose this command center as well. There's too many Dragoons. Vulture Bikes are not enough to take this on. Oh, but tanks are. But maybe not that many tanks. So many SCVs getting lost here. AnyTime has such map control that he is literally expanding to the Expo that is right next to the Mind's base at the bottom right. I mean, they're like right next door. I don't even think, oh yeah, he's aware of it. Okay, there's siege checks there. More and more Arbiters are pumped from that star Here comes some more Zealots. And at the other location on the map, AnyTime attacking from a different angle now, knowing that the Terran army lacks the mobility to be in two places at once. He's now pushing in here. That will help him maintain the security of that expansion at the bottom middle right. Oh, and a massive stasis on those tanks. Oh my God, GG. GG. AnyTime has won. Mind who looked like he was going to be getting out of this group may very well not be getting out at all.